This is Pukeology Podcast, where science meets your hilarious puke stories and the tips and tricks to stop that up-chuckle that you need.
You never know what's going to spew out of her mouth. Here's
my mama,
Dr. Pukeology.
With all the baby items and gadgets, how do you know what you actually will need? What needs to go on my baby registry? And what items should I buy before the baby gets here? Get ready to learn all the fascinating shopping patterns of pregnant women and how big chain box stores know you're pregnant even before you do. In today's Pregnancy Pukeology Podcast, episode 26, Baby Registry Checklist. Want no more morning sickness, pregnancy nausea, or how about no more headaches or migraines? Visit our sponsor, nomonausea.com, the only natural way to instantly stop your worst nausea, vomiting, and headaches now. Or just place No Mo Nausea Band on your baby registry for your delivery bag at Bye Bye Baby, or get it shipped in only 2 days for free on Amazon as a Prime vendor and even Walmart.com. And don't forget, your little ones are always taken care of with the first No Mo Nausea Kids and No Mo Sleepless Nights so that they can have a great night's sleep, all at your local CVS store. Pregnancy humor that may just want to make you pee your pants, like you don't have to pee all the time anyway, with hilarious puke stories like kitty cat puke on, nauseated every day, and even dog run, dog blob. If you want to learn more about your pregnancy, humor and knowledge is the key to help you survive these 9 months. And just know we're in this together. Today, you will learn the science behind the pregnant shopper's mind and how companies can actually predict that you're pregnant, the top 10 items that every mom must have on their baby registry, and answers to how much time each of these baby gadgets will actually save you. And are they really worth the money?
The science of puke, pukeology.
There's nothing more interesting than shopping with pregnant women, that is. All right, so does the pregnancy brain really change during the brain's neural pathways? Are there something that we're all drawn to purchase whenever we're pregnant? And how the heck do marketing companies predict that you're pregnant using these types of buying habits? Well, it's very interesting that we've actually done some research on the technology behind why you're getting Pampers coupons at what part of your life. Some of you have may actually heard about the teenage girl who sued this major chain, which will stay unnameless, for sending pregnancy marketing material and coupons to her parents' house. And she hadn't actually openly admitted that she was pregnant, and it was supposed to be a secret. So then when they were sending a whole bunch of pregnancy stuff, basically it blew up the entire household, and she actually sued this big chain. And so it was interesting that the Journal of Advanced Technology published some data stating what key observations they've learned while analyzing this problem being shopping patterns of customers. So shopping patterns usually change 3 major times in their life. Number 1 is graduation. Number 2, marriage. And number 3, childbirth. So you basically go through like a revival all 3 times in your life, and you start buying things that you normally wouldn't. So being pregnant, a major life change, alters not only the types of products that customers generally tend to shop for, but also the potential retail store chain that better suits their need in the present time. So for example, I know that after Babies R Us ended up going off of the market itself, Bye Bye Baby saw a huge pump. And please make sure that you always put your No Mo Nausea Band on your baby registry if you are looking at it through Bye Bye Baby or on Amazon for your baby registry as well. So these marketeers or marketing companies, I think that's how you say it, they came up with a list of 21 product groups that contained important information to help predict the pregnant people, basically predicting their pregnancy status of the shopper by virtue of either them telling that they're being associated with the pregnant mother, or these products are avoided by pregnant mothers, like alcohol, cigarettes, things like that, and then other general consumption products like chocolate and chips and things like that. So I'm actually going to go through them real fast. These are the things that pregnant women buy the most: prenatal vitamins, chocolate, root beer, home pregnancy tests, ice cream, cotton balls, non-wine products, pumpkin seeds, baby products, infant products, sanitizers, cotton balls, newborn, infant items, and maternity things. So if you're actually writing this down because you're a marketing company that specifies into pregnancy, I'll have this entire list down as well as what they ended up finding. And then the things that also signaled a big like, hey, they may be pregnant if they do not buy these items, such as alcohol, cigarettes, beer, wine, soft drinks, and chips. Interesting. We'll get to that in just a second. So the really cool facts that were found were that chocolate sales spiked in the second trimester and peaked during delivery. It makes sense, guys. We're puking our brains out during the first trimester unless you found the world's greatest product to stop your morning sickness called No Mo Nausea, a natural aromatherapy-infused acupressure wristband that's targeted specifically for pregnancy sickness relief. And that's natural, of course. But it makes sense. So in the second trimester, you all of a sudden start to be able to eat things, and you eat things that you want to eat, such as chocolate for most of us. And then during delivery, you're trying to pack on the last extra pound so this baby is well, delicious, and has those little rolls when they come out, and hence why chocolate sales peak during delivery time. Now, soft drinks peaked during delivery. And again, they dramatically fall along with tampon sales during your entire pregnancy. So again, we're trying not to drink soft drinks because all it is just as extra sugar calories that we really don't need. Now, chip sales were probably one of the most important. They're very minimal during the pregnancy process, but they doubled in their purchase volume at delivery. So what I'm guessing as you're sitting in the actual delivery suite, hopefully you do it before you get there, and you are just munching on chips because it's nice and salty and you don't want to have those bad foot cramps that I know I personally used to have. So home pregnancy tests and prenatals, like the prenatal vitamins, peak during their first trimester. If you're ever curious about prenatal vitamins, meaning you really are interested in finding out like, why should I even be taking prenatal vitamins? What does it do? How does it help me? Things like that. You can actually go right on over to Pregnancy Pukeology Podcast, and you'll be able to find that we have an entire podcast dedicated to prenatal vitamins. It tells you what you should be looking for, how can it help you, and that's episode 3. Why take those prenatal vitamins in the first place? So when we talk about home pregnancy tests and prenatal vitamins, they peak during the first trimester. And again, we said that tampons dip in 10 months prior to getting pregnant. Again, that's because of the fact that we are anticipating or hoping we are going to get pregnant. And again, tampon sales are completely non-existent during pregnancy, but have this resurgence during the 3rd month postpartum. You probably wonder, why 3 months after does your period immediately come back? And the answer to some is no. Breastfeeding can sometimes stop your period from returning for about a few months. Hence, the need for tampons is delayed. From a medical perspective, remember, I'm a physician, you are not 100% protected. Let me say that again. You are not 100% protected from getting pregnant again, even if you are breastfeeding and even when you're not getting your period. I know quite a few of my friends who have had Irish twins, meaning they have 2 babies within 1 year's period of time, and they all said the same thing. Well, I was breastfeeding and I didn't get my period, so I thought I was good. By the way, ladies, you're not. So go to your local OBGYN and get on some sort of birth control if that's what you're trying to do. These retailers, meaning big box store retailers, were only right in this study to tell if you were pregnant from the general population about 20% of the time after analyzing these 21 hot products. But 26% of those that they said, of those 20%, were accurate, meaning that there was only really a 6% deviation. So those people who purchased those hot product items or didn't purchase some items really tells a lot about the pregnant population as a whole.
Throwing up on a Tuesday? One puke story.
I'll start off by saying my cats like to drink out of the toilet. I had a sudden urge to puke one day, so I ran to the bathroom, and what do you know? There's my cat drinking some water. I couldn't hold it in anymore, and it came out all over my cat. Poor kitty. I can only imagine trying to clean up your cat after that. Oh, gross. It'll make you want to puke again. Anyway, thank you so much, Kitty Face, for that hilarious puke story. I've been nauseated pretty much all day, every day. It's my part-time job. I usually just dry heave, but I've puked several times too. This evening, I wasn't feeling too great, so I decided to take a warm bath to see if it would help. It was going well until about 15 minutes in, and I vomited all in the tub while I was still in it. I can't wait for the second trimester that everyone says is perfect. LOL. I didn't want to risk getting out of the soaking wet tub and slipping on the tile, so I just kind of smeared my puke on my body. Oh my God, Andrea, thank you so much for that hilarious puke story. I will never look at taking a relaxing bath the same way while pregnant. So my dog had the runs this morning, and I didn't think much of it. Probably just an upset stomach. I had to go paint my old house that I'm trying to sell, and I left him alone with my other dog in my new place. Went to grab and painted for about 4 hours, grabbed some food, and went home. Opened the door and could smell the poop. Let the dogs out and went and found the trail of running poop on the living room floor. Thankfully, which is hardwood, I started gagging immediately and ran outside for fresh air. But it was too late. I puked off the end of the deck and peed a little because I had lost my bladder control when I puke. But I still have to clean up the mess, so I zipped up my hoodie so it was over my nose and mouth, got an old towel, and hoped I wouldn't be able to smell it. Started wiping up the slimy mess and lost it. Get up, run to the bathroom, started puking on my way. Only my hoodie is covering my face, so I ended up puking all down my shirt. And of course, I couldn't hold my bladder, so I finished puking in a bucket, going to the bathroom and cleaning up myself. I still have to clean up the poopy mess. Covered it with vinegar to mask the smell, and found some couch cushions the dog had knocked down. So thankfully, I had also puked on that too. So now doing a lot of gross laundry and questioning my sanity as a mom as I plan on doing this cloth diaper thing. Do you have a hilarious puke story that you just can't wait to share? Send it to me. Pukeology, Pukeology at nomonausea.com, nomonausea.com, or tweet us at Pukeology so we can all have a good laugh.
Tips and tricks to stop the up-chuckle that you need.
Baby registries are what you make of them. You can add clothes, shoes, and toys, but none of those will actually help you care for the baby. I mean, I guess clothes are needed, unless you're a nudist, which we all come out and say in some sort of way sometimes. But here are the must-have registry items for every baby registry. And this was taken as a huge poll from mothers, thousands of mothers all across the world. What are the things that you definitely need? So if you have a pen and paper, get ready to write, and or you will have this all on the Pregnancy Pukeology Podcast. We actually have a blog. So go ahead and check us out, nomonausea.com/Pregnancy Pukeology. All right, number one, you have all been able to put a baby in the car, right? You have to be able to take the baby home. Well, you need an infant car seat. But did you know that you cannot leave the hospital without your baby approved car seat? You have to actually demonstrate it to a hospital employee. You will have a rear seated child and have to be able to use the safety belt. Well, nowadays the car seats actually come with a 5-point harness strap. Think of like a race car driver. That's how the baby will actually be strapped in. You click in the metal pieces of the creases of the seat. So if you actually open up the seats, and I believe it's any car that was after like the 2000s will have it, you click it into the actual metal portion of the seat, and that it goes click and you will actually feel it. So just run your hand by the back seat, by the right, middle, and the other side. Sometimes it's only secluded to the actual middle seat. So please make sure that you take a look at your actual, car and see to make sure that it is. The other harness point is actually to secure it once the baby turns around. There's another piece that ends up clicking to the back, like imagine behind their head in the back seat. And then again, the restraint is going to be 2 of those straps that go across the baby's chest. Now, please make sure it is across the baby's chest and not their stomach. We want to make sure that they are not propelled forward. And then again, it goes 1 into the crotch. So that's what's considered the 5-point harness. The car seat cannot be expired. Most car seats will expire within 6 years, but others last 10 years. So please make sure that you check the labels. My son was born 4 years apart from my daughter, and believe it or not, it was already expired. So just because you think you have the top of the line, most exciting, does not mean that you can actually reuse it for the next baby. Car seats, again, I wouldn't recommend buying them from like Let Go or Trade In or what are those other sites are. But because of the fact that you need to make sure that the car seat has never been into a car crash prior. That's why it really is dangerous buying a secondhand car seat. Check for any recalls. My top of the line beautiful car seat was recalled the day I was giving birth. I made my husband call the car seat company when I was giving birth because I was so panicked about it. So please, again, check that before you go into the hospital. And here's a really awesome suggestion. Those cute, fluffy strap covers are great so that the baby's chin does not get scratched up by the actual belt underneath their neck. And also, if your baby is premature or really small at birth, like my beautiful boy was IUGR, get some padding above their head so their head doesn't bobble too much. I mean, we used to call him bobblehead just because his head was so much bigger than his little body. And here's some amazing mom advice. Spend a little more on your car seat. Again, yes, I'm talking about monetary wise, right? So you want to make sure that it has the click in and click out car seat. It will make your life so much easier. You will literally save about 5 minutes every single time. And make sure that the stroller that you buy will click directly into it so that the base, all you have to do is sit on top of it instead of strapping it in or doing something crazy or transferring a sleeping baby into a completely different stroller. If you need to go to the store, the worst thing in the world that you can do is wake up a sleeping baby. So click and go is totally worth it. And once you find a car seat that you love, go out and buy a bunch of bases. Buy the bases for your husband, for grandparents, things like that. So literally you can just click in and click out so that there's never a lack of car seat space. Alrighty. And always remember, there's a bunch of apps these days where you can actually click the UPC or you can find it on Amazon. The stroller, number 2. All right, strollers come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Physically go into a store. I personally love Bye Bye Baby because of the fact that I feel like they have great selection. That's a wide range of stores or wide range of stroller prices, I should say. And then you can play with them. So regardless if you buy it from them or not, please make sure that you get one-on-one time with them and make sure that you can actually load and unload. So like open up your stroller with one hand. Okay, so again, while you're in Bye Bye Baby, grab a no-menage just in case your hospital delivery doesn't go as planned. Remember, 80% of women will throw up during their childbirthing experience. Don't be that girl. If you're a runner, go buy a jogging stroller. If you have other children and you like to go to theme parks and you have passes, get a light foldable stroller. Or if you know that you're planning on having more than one, you may want to invest in a double stroller or a stroller that can be attached. You can buy an attachment for a double stroller. Some even come with boogie boards, which is really cool because if you want to have a whole bunch of babies all back to back, so it can actually accommodate for 3 kids in one and will make your life so much easier. Now, I do have to say I am a huge proponent of baby carriers. I think they are amazing. I prefer the ones that have the little straps that fit the baby in the front or like a backpack. I have tried the tribal African blanket looking ones, the one you have to wrap the child in 16 times, and I looked like the Karate Kid, and I almost dropped the baby every time. So go with easy. It pays off when you're really tired, and trust me, you will be tired if this is your first baby. So even though they look really cool and they're very eco-friendly, I just could not get the baby strapped in an easy amount of time. Now, I have another friend of mine who preferred the blanket type because you can really just fold it up and use it for multiple different reasons. You get to repurpose it as a picnic blanket later. Don't waste your time buying a big bassinet that goes into the stroller. Unless you're a Kentucky Derby mom, you have a bunch of money to spend and you like to wear large tea hats, and you probably will have a nanny at that point. These things are super impractical and they're not worth the money. They look beautiful though. My favorite newborn baby stroller was the universal car seat carrier. Believe it or not, it was like $40 and it was amazing. It had a huge undercarriage, which I would actually put groceries in, so I wouldn't even have a big grocery cart. I would just throw the stuff in there. And it was awesome. It fit any universal car seat. So go check it out. It really was a great investment. We personally had different car seats for my husband, my grandma, Gigi, and the car. Try to stick to one brand because if not, each person will have a completely different car seat. And that was just a complete nightmare trying to move the baby one to another. You need a lay-it. A little baby like newborn clothing. It's so cute. Besides being cute outfits that you will take the baby home in, you need something that's actually going to be easy. So there are many different types of onesies nowadays. You can do the ones that look like very long skirts, which just pull up, or the ones that you can snap off. Others you can zip in and zip out. Remember, anything that you can do to save you time when you're trying to change the baby's diaper, I'm all in for it. Now, again, you're not probably going to be going too many places, or you shouldn't be when the baby is first born, because the baby's immunity comes directly from mom, right? Breastfeeding every 2 hours so that they get the actual antibodies. And so please make sure that you think about it as well. If you are a breastfeeding mom, have things that snip, clap, move down over your breast so that they're easily accessible, because when a baby's crying, the last thing in the world that you want is your letdown to happen and the world to see it. So again, you'll be able to latch the baby so much quicker. So again, think of something quick to change the baby and something nice and easy clothing for you to give the baby what they want, your boobies. So another thing is the crib. The crib, the mattress cover, the crib sheets, cut off all the tags. On the mattress, on the crib sheets, everything. Infants will do anything, will put anything in their mouth, and don't let your warning label be the actual reason of the choking hazard. If you plan on doing a side sleeper, which is kind of the thing that attaches to your bed, you can wait a few weeks to get a crib. Please don't ever allow the baby to sleep with you. There have been way too many suffocation reports. Always put the baby on their back to sleep. Baby on their back, they actually give you a onesie in the hospital that will save that. And because kids grow so quickly and you want to get the most out of every purchase, try to buy a really comfortable mattress, okay, for the crib. This can be reused, not just for the crib, but also for a toddler bed. And they have amazing 3-in-1 convertible beds. I personally did that for my son and then repurposed it for our daughter, and just did different really pretty accents on the wall, and it was amazing. So spend a little on the crib and spend a little on the actual car seat. Baby monitors. Personally, I'm on the fence about this one. I truly never used one. Our first house wasn't very large, so I could always hear the baby when he was up. But if you do have a premature baby or a baby who spent a lot of time in the NICU, I would recommend instead getting a pulse oximeter, which is kind of like a little sticker that goes and measures the baby's blood oxygen levels, and a baby monitor that you can all have it go to your phone. Look at them at the store. Look on the reviews, see if they have where you can see an actual visual, because I feel like, the movie The Ring, where it was like a whole bunch of fuzz, like shh. I feel like some of the baby monitors did that, and it would have been a complete waste of my personal time and money. And then the last thing is you can always repurpose your baby monitor as a nanny cam when they're old enough. So just think about that. You can do the Meet the Fuckers or whatever the movie was, where they had it inside of the bear. Just an idea for you guys, a way to get a little bit more bang for your buck. Bottles, breast pumps, and of course, formula. All right, every baby is different. Does your baby have a lot of gas? So I'm talking about bottles here. Does your baby have colic? Bottles and formula are super important to keep their tummy happy. The more air or gas that gets entrained, the higher the likelihood of them belching, vomiting, and getting fuller faster. I personally love Dr. Brown's bottles, but they now have many more these days, so go do your research and figure out which one works well for your baby. What I did on my baby registry is I put the single bottles, because by the way, your friends and family have a higher likelihood of buying you things like more items that are smaller price point than one big large item. Heads up. So I put one of like about 4 or 5 different brands so that I could figure out which ones I liked. And then instead of putting them all, like 20 of them on my baby registry, I figured out which one the baby liked and then went off and purchased all the rest of the baby bottles. And use those gift cards. Don't forget, guys, put gift cards on there. They're awesome. So gift cards to wherever will save you so much time. All right. So unless the milk is coming directly off of your teat, ladies, please invest in a bottle warmer. This is the second most important thing. In the middle of the night, all you have to do is one click of a button. It will heat itself perfectly, and then it will shut off once it's the right temperature. Mom advice. Do you have a little extra money? If you do, there's this thing called a baby Brezza. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's really freaking cool. I've never actually used it before, but it looks amazing. It makes bottles of formula like a Keurig for coffee at the perfect temperature. One button and you're done. You go back, you go and pick it up. If you're like the rest of us and had children before we made it big, quote unquote, you will have stories for days about how shaking this formula will never. I used to always parallel shaking formula to shaking up different types of antibiotics in the hospital. It takes forever and ever, and it never does it in the timely manner. So again, if you travel a lot, don't put powder in little Ziploc bags, because if it breaks, it ruined your really expensive baby bag that you've had. Hashtag your push present. And don't be cheap. Just buy the single formula packets on the airplane, on family vacations, and on cruises, okay? It will save you so much, and it's so worth it when it comes to time and money. Burps, cloths, and bibs. So an infant has an uncanny ability to be able to ruin outfits. So get the bibs that are plastic. They will catch food in the front, right? But they also have like a cloth piece now for wiping, and that's really important. Burp cloths are a must, and they should be cotton. They need to be washed with all of the baby gear, just in case your little prince or princess has allergies to the perfume or makeup that you use. You want it to be the most absorbing cotton on the planet. If not, your back will be wearing all of their breakfast, lunch, and dinner milk, FYI. So newborn size disposable diapers and or cloth diapers and wipes. My mother dressed me in cloth diapers, but it was because we were so poor, not because she wanted to clean them out. Let me just throw this out there. You remember the old school ones, the ones with like the white cloth that were actually like a tinge of yellow or brown, and they were held together with safety pins. These new fashion trends of baby cloth diapers are a whole new world. If you think that you are going to pay for a service to clean them, cloth diapers are actually equal to or more expensive than disposable. Let me say that again. If you think you are going to pay for a service to pick them up and clean them, cloth diapers are equal or more expensive than disposable diapers. New studies suggest that disposable diapers can cost you $2,000 to $3,000 per 2-year time period, whereas cloth in the same amount of period will cost you $2,500 to $2,800 if someone else is cleaning them. The best gift that I ever received, and I didn't know how much I would love, was a wipe warmer. Anytime I see a wipe warmer on anyone's baby registry, I buy it for them, and then they tell me how much they love it. I buy them that, and I buy them a thermometer, which we're getting to. The difference is a sleeping baby versus an awake screaming child in the middle of the night when a cold wipe hits their butt. My husband loves to keep the wipe warmer now in our bathroom now that the kids don't need it, because when he takes the Browns to the Super Bowl, boop, it is so nice, and it's very warm on the bum. So imagine, if your husband likes it, your baby will too. Baby bathtub and toiletries. A baby bathtub is definitely not a must, but they do roll around like little baby alligators. I loved my little bathtub that had a hammock. I did it with my first one. And again, by the time that you have a second one, you're kind of like a pro, so I would just throw the baby in the shower with us. But I did reuse the hammock of the first baby bathtub to put toys in it. So it was something that I could use it for, for both of the kids whenever they were a little older. Baby first aid kits, rectal thermometers, and nail clippers. Clipping a baby's nails is probably the scariest thing you will ever need to do, but it is a necessity. Please try to get baby clippers that have a safety spring and they have a magnifying glass on it. Just like a humidifier, which I do recommend that you have, put it in the closet or someplace, you don't need a thermometer until, just like a humidifier, until it's 2 a.m. and the baby has their first cold or flu. I would recommend having both items handy from the get-go, though. Infrared thermometers are great while checking temperatures without having to wake up the babies, but the margin of error is kind of large. Always have a backup rectal thermometer just in case. Brain damage occurs when a fever of a child spikes to 107. Most are treated before the fevers get to 105. The thing that you are worried about is fever-induced seizures. They are by far a greater concern, and those 2 degrees, which is that margin of error on most thermometers, can be a life or death situation. So again, you put it in rectal. It's not going to hurt the baby. They may fuss a little bit. Don't shove it in, just a little tiny bit to where the metal piece is done, and you will get a much more accurate reading. The last is a baby bouncer. Moms who want to get stuff done have a baby bouncer. That should be the slogan for a baby bouncer company. Pick one, and again, get some with toys on it so that they can entertain themselves. Other babies don't like bouncers. Some love rockers, and others love the sensation of riding in the car by some of those baby movers that they have these days. I think the one that I bought was for moms, and it literally did all these motions. One child loved it, the other one hated it, so I ended up giving it to someone else. I personally found it easier to strap the baby to my front and back while I vacuumed. And again, just make sure you turn the baby bajorn around if you plan on cooking, or better yet, use your bouncer if you are cooking. But anything else that you're moving around the house, I was a big proponent of just having the baby with me. That was my first child. I then learned with my second, put the baby down. So those were the top 10 items that you must have. Remember, everything else is just considered extra or ancillary. You don't need a high chair with your baby shower. Again, the baby's not going to be sitting there eating. My child ate very early at 4 months. You have time, guys. You literally have about 6 months to think about that in the future. And always recommend that they buy you diapers, wipes, and more importantly, that they buy you gift cards so that you can keep giving yourself gifts over and over and over again. So now you guys know the science behind the 21 power products that people buy in pregnancy that let stores in on the little secret that you could be pregnant, and the top 10 items that you must have on every mom baby registry, including no monage for your delivery bag. If you love Pregnancy Pukeology Podcast, let us know with a 5-star rating or hearts for likes. Don't forget to download this episode, but more importantly, share it with all your Prego friends. Thanks again for listening to Pregnancy Pukeology Podcast, episode 26, Baby Registry Checklist, What to Buy for Your Baby Shower Registry.
Pukeology Podcast, edutainment at its finest.